Yes, and welcome to another video on City. I've just gone 9 points clear of Liverpool at the top of the Premier League following that 1-0 victory over Brentford. It wasn't easy, it was quite tough and maybe a little bit lucky at times, but loads of stuff to talk about, and in the end we did get the job done. Before we get into it, guys, I want to tell you about our sponsor today is the guys at Manscaped. If you've got a hairy ball sack or know someone that does and is not taking care of it, then you're going to have to help them out. Not by doing it yourself, innit? But buying this, which is a lawnmower 4.0. It's designed by Manscaped. It's specifically designed for your ball sack, so it helps reduce all those like nicks and cuts that you can get when you're shaving your balls and getting that smooth finish. It's waterproof as well if you want to use it in the shower or something. It's got a torch on it as well for precision manscaping, which is there.
Oh, I thought it was dead.
It's got a mega long battery life as well. We've only ever charged this once. We've had it about 4 months, and one day it's gonna die on us. You know what I mean? But it's still going, the battery there. So, guys, if you want to go to manscaped.com, get 20% off your entire order and free shipping, use our code, which is extra20. That's XTRA20. And, become a proud owner of a Lawnmower 4.0. Right, okay, let's talk about this game then, bro, because obviously going into the game, we were under no illusions. It was a tough game. I think in fact, the preview video, I think we called the toughest game away or something like that.
Yeah, toughest away game.
We knew it was going to be tough. The main thing in this game was to get the win, and I feel like we're quite good on this. You know what I mean? We know when the team should be picking the games to really go and try and ham the goals to get the goal difference up, and we know which games is just about getting the win. And this game today was just purely and simply about getting those 3 points, putting pressure on Liverpool and Chelsea, and we did that with a 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, you could say we smashed it in the sense that we came away with the 3 points, because I didn't really expect anything less than just the way it was. In the preview, I predicted 4-1, hoping that we'd continue our goal scoring form. It'd start like Leicester or something like that. But realistically, when you look at this kind of game, you know it's going to be difficult. You're basically going to spend 90 minutes trying to break them down, and they're going to hit you on the counter all the time. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty much just that. We just spent the whole game breaking them down. Difficult game, horrible really to watch. It's one of these games that you just grind out. It's a horrible game to watch as a fan. It's nervous, especially towards the end, and when it's only 1-0, it's horrible. But like I say, the 3 points are all that matters. I don't care how we get them. It's just getting the 3 points, and especially because Chelsea dropped points, they drew, and then it just added to it. I was more nervous because of that, because I felt like we needed to capitalise and stuff like that. But I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing because we've done what we needed to do, and that's all it was. You know what I mean? It's a game that you just chalk off. You tick a box and move forward.
Yeah, you know what? In fact, I was put some stuff in the Discord server, which we have with our extra club members, and I said, big result. You know, it's a big result. Someone replied and put, which I completely agree with. It's one of those games that you won't look back at the end of the season really and go, that was a big performance. But you might in terms of context of the league and the result in terms
how
of
the
what
table
that's just
shifts.
done.
Yeah,
because guys, we've just done 9 points clear of Liverpool. 9 points, and yes, they've got a game in hand, but that psychological pressure that is now applied to Liverpool and Chelsea, of course, with them dropping points against Brighton earlier, it's absolutely huge. And this is where it's nice to have games in hand. Yes, it is. However, it's much nicer to have the points already on the table, because as you can see, with Liverpool dropping points against Leicester, with Chelsea dropping points against Brighton, both results are shock results, are freak results. Them games in hand mean nothing. You're not guaranteed the points. So, look, I'm buzzing with this result. It wasn't easy. I just want to quickly mention, actually, Ivan Toney, bro, who plays for Brentford. I thought he really gave Diaz a real game. You know, Diaz normally looks like he's completely chill. No one really causes him any issues. I'm not saying Diaz had a bad game, but I'm just saying Toney, that's one performance from a striker that I've seen that's really caused Diaz to switch on. Diaz had to think in that football match, you know what I mean? Whereas most other games, the guy just cruises through. He's so good and calm. He can just deal with everything. But tonight, Toney, he's a player, bro. I don't think he'll be there. I'd be very shocked if Toney's still at Brentford in summer. I mean that with no disrespect to Brentford. If you're a Brentford fan, I'm just saying, you've got a player on your hands. You're going to get big cash for him, I assume, unless he's got no years left on his contract.
He's one of these players, one of these gems that come up from the Championship. You don't really know anything about him until they enter the Premier League and they enter like that, and he's smashing it this year. So I think I said in the preview as well that he'd be their danger man. He's the guy that they look to, and he showed why today, because obviously as much as they didn't score anything and he didn't really have any chances to score, giving Diaz a handful is something in itself. Most strikers don't even faze the guy.
One thing I would say though, should he been maybe sent off with a challenge on Fernandinho?
Oh yeah, that's a shout actually.
That's a shout. One. Maybe you guys can let us know in the comment section below. Personally, I think it was a red card.
I thought it was a red,
but the referee said no, didn't even get VAR, so it is what it is. I'm talking about when he sort of stamped on Fernandinho. Yes, he didn't fully stamp on his leg, but for me it was a bit dodgy. Anyway, I just thought I'd put that out there because I was really impressed with his performance. Someone else who was impressed with, and you were actually more impressed with him than me, was Nathan Ake. I think you should probably start this one off, bro, because you was buzzing.
Yeah, I was buzzing. I think it was probably his best performance in a City shirt, maybe. Potentially, it's up there.
Yeah,
he looked really good. He looked solid defensively. Mm-hmm. He was getting forward when he needed to. He was pretty much playing as a left back in the game. And when they were countering, he was stopping the counter attacks. He made some really good challenges. Everything in the air, he won.
He made a great block as well. I think it was in the second half. He made a real good block as well.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that. He was just really good all round. Nathan Ake's performance today, he was mint. And it's funny actually because before the match, I see people on Twitter and our live chat all freaking out because Nathan Ake was there. Oh, Ake's there. We're going to ship goals and that. But today, he kind of proved a lot of people wrong.
Yeah. And I mean, and Nathan Ake's a good player, man. He come through to Chelsea, you know what I mean? He did all right at Chelsea before he got shipped on to Bournemouth, where he did fantastically well. And he's coming to our team, and I keep on having to remind people that he's our fourth choice centre-back. Fourth choice. You go and look around other European teams and have a look at their fourth choice centre-back, and it's dross, mate. You're looking at players like Phil Jones, them sort of players, you know what I mean? We got Nathan Ake, a solid player. Is he good as Laporte, John Stones and Diaz? No, he's not. But he's not there to be as good as them. He's there to be a solid backup when, you know, we got an injury crisis or when Pep wants to change the formation or whatever, or give a player a rest. And he's a solid player to do that. I don't think he's going to be at the football club long term because I think he's probably too good to be on the bench and not play that much. But you know, he's a good option for while we've got him. We probably won't lose that much money on him when we do ship him on. And yeah, he's capable of putting in a good performance. And I thought today he was really good. But I know you were super impressed with him. So guys, let us know again. Were you impressed with Nathan Ake? What are your thoughts on that? Right, before we go to our player ratings, I want to talk about the return of Phil Foden and Jack Grealish. Both came into the team today. I thought, for me, both players were on different sides of the coin. I thought Phil Foden was excellent pretty much the whole game. Jack Grealish was a little bit quiet. I don't know. That's my views.
No, I agree with that. I think Phil Foden obviously is mint. He's been mint. He's influential in this team. Jack Grealish, I won't state right now as influential in his team, but Phil Foden comes in and he does bits, playing that false nine, really plays it really well, knows what he's doing. He can drop into mid, go forward with it, and he also got the goal as well, which was really good. But Jack Grealish, but the thing is, and Jesus on the other side, were both having a really difficult time on the wings because there's so many Brentford players, you know what I mean, in the defence. It was difficult for them to really get into the game. I know that Grealish and Bernardo tried swapping at one point to try and maybe switch it up, and that didn't really work. But I feel like it was just difficult. Like I think at half time I said I'd be bringing on Raheem for either Jesus or Grealish, one of the two. Do you know what I mean? So I think Foden's return, mint. Grealish return, bit slow.
The thing is, right, when you're playing against a team that's so defensive, your wingers are not going to be that influential. Why? Because what can they actually do? And I've said this before. Jack Grealish receives the ball on the left wing, right? He's got his wing back right in front of him. So he's got one player to beat. If he somehow manages to beat that player, he's then got that third centre-back who's probably going to pop out. And if he doesn't pop out, there's probably going to be a midfielder that's dropping in between the full-back and the centre-back. There's potentially three lots of players that he has to take on to be able to get into sort of a shooting position or a crossable position. So what happens is, and you find this a lot with the wingers when they're playing against teams like this, they get the ball, they look up, they go, there's nothing I can do here, and they pass it back to Fernandinho or back to the full-back or something like that. Now, that means that they don't look that good. However, Pep keeps playing this system. So I'm thinking Pep is satisfied with what's happening because maybe there are gaps opening up in the middle of the pitch. You know
Elsewhere,
what I mean?
somewhere where we're not really thinking about.
If Brentford players are being attracted to the wingers and the wingers can't do anything, well, that's going to leave gaps elsewhere. Maybe that's the thinking from Pep. I don't know.
All you got to look at is the goal, really. The goal came from the right-hand side. not in a crossable position. The ball goes to, I think it was either Gabi or Cancelo, I can't remember who it was, and he passes it back to Kev, who first times it into the box, because there's space there for Kev, because the players are going out to the winger, and it's the same situation on the other side. There's plenty of times when Grealish on the left hand side, and you're looking at Fernandinho and stuff, and they're the ones in space, and we're just kind of like in that midfield, just in front of the defence.
It's almost as if, bro, we're conning the opposition into thinking, oh, where's the danger? And they all think that the danger's through the wingers, which obviously they are dangerous. So then they put a lot of players on the winger. The players get attracted to the winger, and then the winger goes, there's nothing I can do here, I'll give it Kev, who, by the way, is then in 10 yards of space and can get a cross off. And you see that a lot. And that's probably why Pep keeps on playing this system, and it doesn't make the wingers look good. A lot of the wingers struggle when we play against defensive teams, but that can be my only thinking. Right, let's get into the player ratings then. As always, these are decided by our extra club members, the guys at the bottom of the screen. If you want to get involved, help support the channel and influence these results, you can become an extra club member today. Link is in the description. Ederson, 9.0. And to be honest with you, Ederson smashed it today. In that first half, he made 2-3 big saves. Yeah. So I know some people, not massive fans of Ederson, don't think he's good enough shot-stopping wise. Well, I think he proved a lot of people wrong today. And if it wasn't for him, we might have been on the end of a bad result. Yeah,
it's mad actually, because I think with Ederson, he's one of the people that you could look at as man of the match. I think you said in last year that Kasper Schmeichel last night got a man of the match against Liverpool because of the saves that he was making. But Ederson today came with big saves, and he easily could have got man of the match today as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Cancelo gets a 7, Diaz 8.1, Ake 8.7, which is a mega result for Ake, and Laporte 8.3. So, yeah, pretty decent results there for the defence.
Yeah, big that. Laporte obviously unlucky as well not to get a goal again. He a really good header again. Gas slamming. Fernandinho with a 7. De Bruyne with an 8.3. Bernardo with a 7.1. And up top, you got Gabi on the right-hand side, 6.3. Grealish on the left-hand side, 6.1, which obviously, like we were saying before about the wingers, it shows in that the fact that they've got lesser ratings. And Foden is the extra club members' man of the match with a 9.2, which is big, that.
No, absolutely. Guardiola's rating 8.3, and the referee with a 3.3. So 3 points in the bag. We've extended our lead at the top of the Premier League table. We can go even further with a win against Arsenal on New Year's Day. But, we basically got the job done, guys. As we said at the start of the video, today was just about getting the 3 points, about putting that pressure on Chelsea and Liverpool, and that's exactly what we did. So, performance wasn't the best. As you can see, some of the ratings are a little bit low, but ultimately, we did what we needed to do. Massive shout out to the guys at Manscaped who sponsored today's video. Seriously, guys, if you get the performance package off manscaped.com, you'll get this ball toner, which I spray all the time on live streams, because it smells actually really nice. You get the weed whacker as well if you've got a hairy nose with the performance pack. So head over to manscaped.com, use code extra20 for 20% off and free shipping. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you in the next one. So do it.